Hello. 5. How to fill out Form 941 for 2021. Part 2. Tell us about your deposit schedule and tax liability for this quarter. So if you are unsure about whether you are a monthly schedule depositor or a semi-weekly schedule depositor, see section 11 of publication 15. Line 16. So line 16, you have 3 boxes. You need to choose one to check. So you'll check the first one if line 12, you can go back to line 12, the total tax after adjustment, if line 12 in our case is $234.97 on this return is less than $2,500, or line 12 on the return for the prior quarter was less than $2,500 and you didn't incur a $100,000 next day deposit obligation during the current quarter. If line 12 for the prior quarter was less than $2,500, but line 12 on this return is $100,000 or more, you must provide a record of your federal tax liability. If you are a monthly schedule depositor, complete the deposit schedule below. If you are a semi-weekly schedule depositor, attach Schedule B Form 941. Otherwise, you go to Part 3. So, in our case, $234.95 is less than $2,500. So we could just check the first box and go to Part 3. In your case, if you chose a monthly scheduled deposit, you were a monthly scheduled depositor for the entire quarter, then you will enter your tax liability for each month and total liability for the quarter. Then you go to Part 3. So the total liability for the quarter should match your line 12. So put in, and then you'll check box 2 if you are a monthly scheduled depositor. So that means every single month you make deposit of your tax liabilities, including federal income tax withheld from employees' wages, Social Security tax employee and employer share combined, and Medicaid tax employee and employer share combined. And if you have family leave and sick leave, Social Security tax employee share of that, and Medicaid, additional Medicaid tax withheld from employees' wages. So deposit you make every single month 1, 2, 3 of each quarter. Depending on the quarter you are filing for, you will enter those tax liabilities. So knowing that, it is good to design your payroll spreadsheet in a way that it can track the deposit by month. And thankfully, we do have the payroll Excel workbook that is tracking our liabilities by month for us. So in this example, we have total employer federal income tax withheld, which include employee Social Security tax, employee Medicaid tax, employee income tax, employer Social Security tax, employer Medicaid tax. So the total section is where your total liabilities are for every single month. So month 1 and month 2 are 0, and month 3 is $234.98. So month 1 will be 0, month 2 will be 0, and month 3 will be $234. You can just put 97 for everything to match, because your total for all of 3 total now should be $234.97. 7. So if up we do have that fraction of cents adjustment, if we have made that 1 cent adjustment, it will have been 98 cents there, and then our liability will match it as well. So but we didn't do that adjustment, so we'll stick with what we put on the form. And that's how, if you were a monthly scheduled depositor, having a summary report of your total wages, let me see if we have that, and a summary report of the total taxes you withheld will be useful to to file your form 941 without have to to do a lot of calculation at that point. So that's just an example. So that's the way you will complete it. But since we didn't choose, I can just leave it like that. So, but if you don't have, if that's just your first year and you don't have any schedule, line 12, the first box will work just fine for you. But yeah, have those. I'm kind of surprised that it's allowing to check every single one of the boxes without checking the prior. So if you were a semi-scheduled depositor, so let's now keep all of them checked here. We can just keep it as if we are a monthly depositor. If you were a semi-weekly scheduled depositor for any part of this quarter, complete Schedule B, Form 941, report of tax liability for semi-weekly scheduled depositor, and attach it to Form 941, and then go to Part 3. So Schedule B, if you go to IRS, let's go back. So IRS.gov, you'll tap Form 941, and if you scroll down, Schedule B, Form 941. So Schedule B, Form 941, report of tax liability for semi-weekly scheduled depositor. So if you are a semi-weekly depositor, then you'll enter your employee identification number, your name, the calendar year, which is 2021, and then you check the quarter you are filing for. And I'm not even sure I show it up, but as we start entering information in this, we didn't check it again. So if we are filing for, because we have been using January, February, March example, we might just check that box. So the same thing, let's go back to our form here. So your Schedule B, you will check, and the year is, pretty much you have to click in every single one of the box, 2021. So use this schedule to show your tax liability for the quarter. Don't use it to show your deposits. When you file this form with Form 941 or Form 941 SS, don't change your tax liability by adjustment reported on any form amended. So you must fill out this form and attach it to Form 941 or Form 941 SS if you are semi-weekly scheduled depositor, because one became one because of your accumulated tax liability on any day was $100,000 or more, while your daily tax liability on the numbered space that correspond to the date wages were paid. So knowing how your tax forms are laid out could give you an idea how you design your spreadsheet to track the information you need to make your tax returns easier to manage and less stressful. So you'll notice that they are asking you to enter daily tax liability pretty much based on your payday. So for month 1, 2, 3. So if you don't pay daily, chances that you won't be making daily entries, but days that you pay, kind of surprised they break it down into daily, not monthly. But you get the point. So daily, you have a space for daily entry of tax liabilities, and their taxes relate to Form 941. So if your spreadsheet is tracking your daily, our spreadsheet is paying daily. So let's go back. The total won't be doing it. That's very interesting. They are asking for daily, but employee federal tax return. The spreadsheet is tracking federal tax withheld. Oh, okay. So employer federal tax withheld. We have not really talked about this tab. So this is pretty much where the report is pulling the information. The report by month is pulling, I believe, is pulling a lot of information from employer federal tax withheld versus employer federal income tax tab. So we do have employer federal tax withheld that is pretty much calculating it on the based on our pay frequency here, because it was day one pay right here. So we do have employee social security tax. So you can, if you are designing, you want to design your own payroll spreadsheets, even if you just have this one tab, not the summary report that is tracking it by month to make the quarter trackable. This one is pretty much tracking it daily as often that you pay. So you have employee social security tax, employee Medicaid tax, and that is giving you total employee, and you have total employee federal tax withheld is from the federal tax income tab, and you have employer social security tax, employer Medicaid tax, and you have total employer federal and social security tax. I'm looking to see if I have total employee social security tax. Okay, so I have total social security tax employer employee, total Medicaid tax employer employee, and total federal income social security and Medicaid taxes withheld. So it's by employees and it's by pay. So this column here is going to be pretty much for each pay day, that's pay period. So for March, okay, so slowly, for March 1st, that's payday 1, that total, for instance, is $234.98. If you are a weekly, a semi-weekly depositor, so that payday was the first day of March, so that we didn't pay anything month 1, month 2. So that payday is month 3, $234.98, but I can just put 97 since we have been using that on the form. And another payday was April 1st, and that's the following quarter, so 138.42. And for the following quarter, when you are filing for the following quarter and you have for a semi-weekly depositor, then that will be the month 1, because April is the first quarter, is the first month of the second quarter, so that will be month 1. So in our example, we are assuming staff members they work 1 day in the month and they are paid right after at the end of the day. So, and if you are semi-weekly depositor, then it will work. Or you might have a tab where you pretty much track deposits, not at the staff level, but at the payday level. At the payday level rather than at the month level. But this spreadsheet is designed to be a starter payroll spreadsheet, but you get the point how you will complete this detailed tax liability form, and in the right section you have the total to put. And in this case, our total here is just going to be $234.97, and for all 3 months is going to be $234.97 if we were a semi-weekly depositor. I'm just using the example here to complete this form, but this form is now required for the example we are using. So please don't get confused with that. It's just an example in case you are a semi-weekly deposit, how you will complete Schedule B and attach it. And in that case, you will check that box and you won't have any entry up. You'll just check this box 3 and you will attach that Schedule B to this Form 941 and you go to Part 3. Okay. And that's how you complete Part 2 of Form 941 for 2021. We cover all those 3 options. You don't have a schedule, so that'll be the first box. You have a schedule, is either monthly or semi-weekly, and you check the appropriate box and complete based on the instructions given. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Afiavio June Liberman, owners of Liberman Consulting L.L.C.